Hey guys, look at the sun. I feel like one of the Teletubby babies. Anyway, I was writing something and it was just a thought in my head, right? And I have this whole notes app full of just random thoughts that pop up in my head. And this was one of them. So I want to share with you in case you're someone who feels like you're never successful or like you can't ever make a lot of money or you can never be happy in life. Maybe this will help you. So I'm just gonna read what I wrote because low-key I wrote it as if I was already talking. So okay, so becoming successful and abundant is actually just stepping into the full evolvement of a human and as a human, right? Because pure original human form was like back in the prehistoric era, and you're literally just trying to survive. You're in survival mode. You have to hunt and protect and hide and freaking save all your, what is it? Like your meat, your berries, your twigs, your rocks, your spears, spears. And like, I don't know, try not to get eaten by the dinosaurs. I know this isn't like historically accurate, but it doesn't matter, okay? You get the idea. And so, you know, back when everyone was a caveman, you're like constantly on the lookout. You're constantly like, okay, well, I gotta protect. I gotta look, there's a lot of bad things that could happen. You know, like you're constantly just in survival mode and you're constantly like, oh my God, I need to get more berries. I need to hunt more animals. I need to get more of this because things probably were scarce. I don't know, right? I wasn't alive, but anyway, you had to like freaking, you were in rivalry with other human packs that were trying to come and take your place and whatever, okay? And so as humans, those ideas and the beliefs that we had way back when, before we even had any of this stuff, when we were running around naked with the freaking animals, right? All of that gets stored into our minds like data because our brains are computers. And if you think that's not true, just do your research. Literally do a quick Google search, read the freaking AI, Google AI if you want. It's true, okay? And so one thing that I guess I want to add into this is that when people talk about breaking generational curses, this is one of them. And this is a generational curse that goes all the way back. Saw an airplane, means I'm gonna be traveling this year. Just give me 1 second. 1 second. It's almost gone. Almost gone. Anyway. And so that is a generational curse that goes all the way back when, okay? Because even as we've evolved, you know, had our freaking empires and whatnot, and then come to the 21st century, all of those ideas and beliefs still follow to this day because it's ancestral. What you learn from your parents, you keep, and then you teach your kids, and then so on and so on. And so all of those ideas that everything was scarce, so you have to constantly be on the lookout, you have to survive, everything's trying to get you, everything's just like, you have to, that's still here today, okay? Because our brains are computers. And so when I talk about becoming abundant and successful, that is like evolvement, literally true evolution. Because of course we've evolved as humans. I mean, like, look at me, I'm sure we didn't look like this back in the day. Beautiful and amazing, obviously gorgeous and smart and okay. But now it's kind of like, yeah, we're evolved as society, but our minds haven't fully evolved. We learn math, we learn English, we learn all this stuff, but we don't learn how to let go of everything that we aren't. Because growing up, what are kids' minds? They're sponges, and you're basically just a grown-up kid. So you take in every single thing you've learned. But it is up to you to retrain your mind to everything that you want and that you truly are. Because at humans' core, And everyone's core, you're already abundant and you're already successful. The fact you're still alive today is a success, okay? The fact that there's life in so many things around us is abundance. Look at all this grass. Look at all the trees in the back. Look at the sun, the freaking sky. It's abundance. How do you think our families evolved until today? Abundance, you know? But it's just, people are impressionable to this day. People get stuck working jobs they don't want to work and having to retire at freaking 80 and working for somebody else, making them billionaires while they're barely making, what, $30,000 a year, is because we're still locked in on that data from freaking prehistoric eras, right? And then everyone just freaking, they put more propaganda into our minds from the news, the TVs, everything you see online, making you feel like things are scarce, that bad things are always happening, that you're never gonna have a better life, that it's so hard to be successful, it's so hard to do what you want to do. That's so dumb. Like when people talk down on those going into the arts, because you're never gonna make money being an artist, you're never gonna make money being an actress or trying to do all this stuff. What are you talking about? Do you know how many actresses and actors there are in the world? Do you know how many artists there are? How many people there are in the world who want to buy art? There is never lack of anything. And that is like the biggest trick society has ever taught everybody. The fact that people think that there's never enough money. Money's being made every day. Money's being made every day. Look into the market. Money is being given and taken and passed around all the time. There's a lot of money to go around. So, when you sit with yourself, you have to understand what is the way that you think. What is the way that you feel, or at least for me, I think about what is the way that I feel about money? How do I feel when I spend money, when I get money, when I look at my bank account, when I think about achieving my goals, if I think about failing my goals, because low-key, sometimes when I think about my goals, I think about, maybe it's not gonna work. But then I'm like, why wouldn't it? Literally, why wouldn't it? If other people can do what they want and make billions of dollars off of it, you better believe that I can too. So, yeah. You gotta understand that a lot of the negative beliefs and thoughts that you have, especially regarding you and achieving your goals and being successful and being abundant, if you think that that can't be for you, that's because you've obtained all that information that you can't from other people. Other people have been like, oh no, that's not gonna work. You're not gonna make money from that. And people probably tell you, oh, well, you have to do this in order to be successful. You can't do this or this or this or this, which is a bunch of BS, okay? You can actually do anything that you want. But if you think that you can't, you're not gonna be able to, which is the real kicker. So everything's up to you, but you gotta work on your mind. Anyway, here's what I wrote, and it was, you have to delete the data and reinstall a new state of mind. You have to think abundantly rather than thinking you always need money or that you never have enough or that you can't be successful or any of this, right? Because that all just comes back from the past. And if you hold on to the past, then what about the future? What about the now? You know, the past doesn't matter. It already happened. If you made a mistake in the past, you lost thousands of dollars. Now you know not to do that again. So just keep moving forward. Try again. Do something new. Live your life, because that's literally what life is about. It's about living and enjoying, not about making thousands of dollars or millions of dollars. It's just the plus, okay? Anyway, hopefully y'all enjoyed. Hopefully this helped y'all. Catch y'all on the flip. Love you. Wish you much abundance in your life. Hallelujah. Amen.